So it is days like today where I've had an absolutely amazing day kicking around Beijing. I was out with Lisa this morning, then this afternoon catching up with Bruce, who's back in Beijing. So today was all about great food, great art, amazing craft beer. And it's days like this where I would absolutely recommend taking a trip to China and exploring as much as you can. But I always come back to this one thing that I would always say that you must be prepared for. And if you don't prepare for this, then this one thing could very much send your wee mind over the edge. Let me explain.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect the...
So at the moment, taking a trip into the USA doesn't look that appealing because of the controls at the border and the fact, apparently, that the border security can look through your social media, etc. So we are seeing these stories now in the media, even the mainstream media, coming from America. And America isn't exactly selling itself to the tourist industry. And for that, we're also seeing on YouTube and the likes, these other platforms, the main tourist areas in America are quieter than normal. Also, a trip to Europe looks challenging because of the threat of terror attacks, pickpockets, social unrest, and out of control immigration, apparently. You get the same idea, same picture when you look at the possibility of a trip into the UK. The idea of living any resemblance of a decent life in the UK these days that is implied through the social media is minimal, because apparently the UK, the country, is overrun and there is violence and fear everywhere. Now, I'm not sure about all these claims. Also, forgive me if I've become a little bit more sceptical in my thinking since I've lived here in China. I know that each of these countries that I've just mentioned, the countries in the West, they do have their challenges. That I'm absolutely sure of. And I'm sure of that because I've got friends and family that I trust, and they tell me things are not that easy for all sorts of reasons. But equally, I know that sensationalism sells advertising. So it's a good business to lay it on thick about all the badness and the negative stuff in the UK. In the West, it makes money to do so. And this brings me to the point that I made at the opening of this video. If you're a Western tourist, this one huge thing that you need to brace yourself for when and if you do decide to take a trip to explore China, because if you don't prepare this one thing, it will leave you confused and agitated. It might just send you over the edge. Yeah.
I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. You got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy.
So what is that one thing that you need to prepare for if you're going to come to China? Otherwise you'll go, whoo, boom, head will explode. Well, it goes back to what I'm saying and what I'm suggesting about the sensationalism that the Western media are hitting us with every single day. It goes back to all that stuff about they're saying the Western world is collapsing. It's that same sensationalism. It's where the media has been telling you for years that China is underdeveloped, that it has nothing going for it. They just copy ideas in China, they can't innovate. In China, the food is awful. Bad oil, apparently, some gutter oil stories. The people are rude in China, the people are everywhere, it's so busy, everyone is also under surveillance, and people can't move around freely. bad air, low pollution, lack of safety, bad toilets, unclean, it's difficult to get around in taxis, trains, and the police, they're not helpful. You kind of get the picture. And I know you do because you read it daily. You see it on the media. You see it daily. A steady drip of negativity about China. Sensationalism to sell you an idea and to sell you advertising and to sell you a conflict. They've got to sell you a bogeyman. Well, that one thing that you have to brace yourself for when and if you do arrive in China is how all that negativity falls away, because your eyes and your mind will swing open like a spring-loaded roller blind as the truth and the reality batters you around the head and pokes you in the eyes. Once you see it, you will never unsee it. And the more you explore, the more you get around China to see what China is actually like, the more you will ask yourself questions about your own daily life.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. Gas in the back of the set, never leave. She's so bad that the kid made the bag. The gas in the back of the set, never leave. She's so bad that the kid made the bag. The gas in the back of the set, never leave. She's so bad that the kid made the bag. The gas in the back of the set, never leave. She's so bad that the kid made the bag. I'm inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts.
Your own daily life experience back in your country, the more you will ask yourself questions about the lack of investment and the unbalance in the elements of society that could be so much more positive, more different if the focus was on people where you live, on investment instead of war, on communities and their well-being. Now, China isn't perfect. It has come a long way in, 40, 50 years, and that has to be recognised. In fact, it should be celebrated, and we should learn from that. Now, the one thing I always get as a counter to my comment about how advanced China is now compared to the West is that people will say to me that out in the rural areas it is not that advanced. And I kind of say, yeah, I get you, maybe so. And I've been there in the rural areas. They are still moving forward, advancing. But it's not at the same pace as a Shanghai, a Beijing, or a Shenzhen. Absolutely get that. And it makes sense to me to say that. But I would say to you, have you been to some of the coastal towns in the UK? Have you been to the Rust Belt in America, the inner cities in Europe? Because I have, and they are going backwards. They're not hellholes, as the media would tell us, but they are declining. So just to close up this video, how do you brace yourself for a trip to China so you don't get overwhelmed, so your mind doesn't explode because it's a lot more than what you were told? Well, you watch videos from people who are in or who have been to China and they're sharing with you the reality. You should stay away from these Muppet channels that are trying to sell you nonsense, negativity. We angry men who are incentivized to feed you hatred. Stay well clear of them. And also just a wee note here. The big challenge I think we will be facing, all of us will be facing in the near future, will be how do you find the reality when the AI video can generate anything? And that's why it is important that you build out your sources now with known and trusted YouTubers and content creators. There are some outstanding people sharing their life and their experiences from inside of China. Go and explore them, bookmark them, subscribe to their channels, and above all, go and explore China and see it for yourself. This is me, Ian, in Beijing, having a beer late in the evening. Peace out, take care, catch you soon.